welcome to Coffee with the Mayor. I'm Teresa Aronson, President and CEO of the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our pleasure, our honor to host this event every second Friday of the month. We do it right here in Council Chambers at City Hall. It starts at 8:30 in the morning, and we give you free coffee in Danish, courtesy of Silver Platter Entrees. And we really do like to see you out. But we're going to have quite a few things going on today. Hopefully you're watching this on our YouTube channel as well, or perhaps on TV 20, I think it is on Comcast. But today we're going to start, as we always do, with our representative from Treasure Coast Healthcare, and that's part of the HCA family. And today we have from Longwood Regional Medical Center and Heart Institute, which is a part of that family, of course, Naomi Seymour, who's been on our show before, and you're the Director of Women and Children's Services.
Yes.
At Longwood. And you brought along a special guest because you guys have an event coming up. And from March of Dimes, we have, of course, Allison Chandler. Thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, Naomi, you've been with us before, and tell us a little bit about what you do for the hospital.
Okay, so I'm the Director for Women's and Children's Services. So I am over our labor and delivery, postpartum, pediatrics, PICU, and our level 3 neonatal intensive care unit. And we have recently paired up with the March of Dimes.
Okay.
We've become national sponsors, and we're supporting such a worthy cause, trying to give every baby a fighting chance.
Very good, thank you. And that segues into Allison. Allison, tell us a little bit about March of Dimes. I mean, I don't think there's a soul here that hasn't heard about it, but what is your primary focus? What's the mission?
Our mission of March of Dimes is to end prematurity and birth defects. So we are raising money and giving money to our research centers in 5 different universities across the nation to research the fight to end prematurity. So we are raising money right now through March for Babies, our event in Jensen Beach. It's our major fundraiser for the March of Dimes, our big walk that we're planning. So today I brought along some information to pass along to everybody to try and get us all involved.
And so what did you bring with you?
Well, I brought a couple different things that we can do in different businesses to help raise money. Coin banks are super easy to put up in your company, just to say, hey, donate your extra change. Everybody has change in their bottom of their purse. And we've all seen these in Publix, little cutouts. You sell them for $1, get up on the wall. And then also at the back table today, I brought along our corporate team handbook, which can walk a team captain through how to start a team within their company. We also have sponsorship positions available still for our walk, and forgot to add the date. Our walk is on April. Yes, our walk is on April 29th. So the end of April. 2 months left.
The march is not in March.
Frisbees.
Oh, is that what that was that went flying by the guest head?
There are frisbees too, yes.
Frisbees, apparently. He did not want us to forget that, obviously. I hope they got it on camera.
She said she was really upset she's not on the advisory board.
Jane Rowley was on your advisory board for March of Dimes. Apparently she's not, so she tried to decapitate you with a paper frisbee. Don't cross Jane Rowley. We'll get a golden rule for all of St. Lucie County. Very good. So this is easy. You can put these up anywhere you want to. The march is not in March, which it's in April.
It is.
So they need to know that. So there's still plenty of time to get to a team together. How long is the march? Did you say that? Like, how far are you marching?
Well, it's Indian Riverside Park, so most of the walks are about 3 miles, but ours is shorter. It's about
2.5.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's not very
But it's a beautiful walk, goes through the park, goes through the Tuckahoe Mansion, so it's absolutely beautiful. And this year, I say the walk is in Jensen, even though we're at Coffee with the Mayor for St. Lucie. Our walk is combined between Martin and St. Lucie counties, so we've brought the 2 counties together for our walk in Jensen Beach.
And that's fine. I mean, March of Dimes doesn't have borders. They're everywhere. We're okay with that. That's not a problem. It is beautiful down there near the Tuckahoe along the river, so that's fine. All right, so where can they, well, they can get their information here today along with the Frisbee, as we saw earlier. But where can they go online to sign up to do all this?
Well, in the back of the room on the table, I have our walk brochures and marchforbabies.org. They can go on, sign up a team, sign up individually. We really, really want more family teams involved, so we're really looking for families that have been affected by prematurity or birth defects.
Okay.
So if there are families that, have a premature baby, we really want to hear from you so that we can recognize you at our walk, because they are the reason we do what we do. And also in here, it just talks a little bit about our incentives. You raise $100, you get a free t-shirt, things like that. And we have social media help to help you share it online, things like that. And also this year, a big deal is our app that has just come out. Okay. So you can go sign up for the walk online, get the app on your phone, and you can see how many days you have left, share.
Very good. 50 days left.
37 business days.
Very good. Good to know. And thank you for bringing them, Naomi, because I know it goes hand in hand with what you do, because your NICU and PICU units up there are what level?
Level 3.
Level 3. So there's a lot they can handle here, right, in St. Lucie County.
Absolutely. We have babies as small as 450 grams in our neonatal intensive care unit.
What is that?
That's like about
goodness.
Big and weighing just about your bottle of soda.
Probably lighter than this.
Yeah. And we're the only level 3 neonatal intensive care unit on the Treasure Coast, so we really are trying to give back to our community and help support them. It's very important to look to helping our future generation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks to HCA and Treasure Coast Healthcare System for bringing this in today, because it is important. And the march is not in March, but in April. And it's in Jensen Beach, and the Frisbees are free.
Yes.
I think technically they're fans.
Fans. Oh, they're fans or Frisbees?
I think they're Frisbees.
Or weapons, as they were today.
Whatever makes you happy. They make the kids smile. So
apparently we know where the mayor stands on that. All right, very good. Thank you both for being with us. And we'll be right back, everybody, with, of course, the mayor of the city of Port St. Lucie, Gregory Orbeck. Welcome back to Coffee with the PSL Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. We host this event every second Friday of the month right here at Council Chambers at City Hall. It is free. It's open to the public. It starts at 8:30 a.m. and we even throw in free coffee and Danish courtesy of silver platter entrees. And of course, the reason why we're all here every single month, many of you come out. I see a lot of regulars, but the reason everybody came today is to see this man, of course, and it's the one, the only Honorable Mayor Gregory Orbeck.
Good morning, everybody. And it's kind of you to say, but really, we're here for you.
Well, we're here for Port St. Lucky's out there. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming on, as always. And we're back at our table, but it worked out great today because we have two guests with us that we've been talking about bringing on for a while. Do you want me to introduce them?
Please
okay,
do.
yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I've known them both for a million years, but I was just telling Lynette, I always butcher her last name, but I'm going to get it right today. That's going to happen right now. This is from Trax Entertainment, Lynette Marafa.
Yes, ma'am.
I did it?
You did.
Yeah, I was worried you were going to get the first name wrong the first second.
I knew I was going to find a way to screw it up if I could. And of course, Dana Trabalsi, also with All Things Treasure Coast, our partner with our community calendar for the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce, the official host for our community calendar. So nice to have you both on. We've been talking about having you on because you have an event coming up, and it's a business event, and we're excited about it. It's something that's been going on for a long time, but you both recently acquired it, and it is, of course, the Treasure Coast Business Summit. Now, many of you here have participated, right, before with the Treasure Coast Business Summit. Yeah, get my coffee, my generic coffee cup out of the shot. We will do that. But you guys took it over this year. We're excited about that. So tell us when it is and a little bit about it.
Perfect. So the Treasure Coast Business Summit, it is in its 9th year. So this is the 9th annual, and it will be held on Thursday, May 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center. It's a one-day event. It's a business-to-business event, and Dana and I have partnered to produce and host this year's event in collaboration with the founding members, DLF and Ferris Group. We're excited. We have some new ideas, some innovative things that we're bringing, and of course, our keynote speaker from Chick-fil-A Corporate, Dana, is going to tell you a little bit more about that. So we do have some exciting things. We hope to see all of you there. We do have some sponsorship and vendor booth opportunities available. I'm going to turn the mic over to Dana because I'm really impressed with our keynote speaker this year, and I want her to tell you a little bit about that.
Perfect. Dana, who is your keynote speaker?
Our keynote speaker is Jeff Manley. He is from Chick-fil-A Corporate. He is the general manager of the Rock Ranch in The Rock, Georgia. And he
Is The Rock going to be there?
The Rock's going to be there.
Here at the Treasure Coast?
No.
We'd have had you sold out if you'd have just played along.
Yes, The Rock's going to be there. And he's also the past president of the Georgia Agritourism Association.
Oh, very
so Jeff is coming to speak twofold. One, he's going to speak about the second mile, which is Chick-fil-A's philosophy of going not just the extra mile, but the second mile with customer service. And as you all know, Chick-fil-A is just holds the industry standard as far as customer service is concerned. And then he's going to also talk about agritourism as it pertains to the Treasure Coast, because as everything moves out west and we have all the land available, there's so many opportunities for us to bring agritourism into St. Lucie County.
Very good. And also, as everybody knows, 'cause I think you posted about it, and how many likes did you get? We're starting to get Chick-fil-A's here in the county.
So excited.
I think we had over 100,000 unique touches within 24 hours on the Chick-fil-A story.
Yeah, they did. People are very passionate about their chicken, I noticed.
They are, and they definitely are. As I think Crosstown was one of the more popular stories, 50,000. To give you an idea. So one of our most popular city stories, 50,000 touches in 24 hours, Chick-fil-A 100,000, and maybe the circulation of the local newspaper is 25,000. Wow. Just to put it all into perspective and what drives user interest.
Well, the priorities look good for our keynote speaker.
Absolutely. Eat more chicken.
Very good. Well, I guess you got to know your audience, huh? Very good. Maybe you should mislabel some really important stories.
No, maybe some co-branding with some cows doing
Chick-fil-A
some
presents
signage.
Crosstown Parkway.
That's not where I was going, but that's interesting. Why did the chicken cross the river?
Because Crosstown finally was built. All right.
I think there's 7,403 businesses or so in Port St. Lucie. So hopefully you can touch a lot of them and help them.
And it's important.
Do business.
Because I think that we go every year as a chamber and we participate and we have a booth and we always find businesses that we never knew about. And we're out I'm sick of seeing me, but we're everywhere and we always find people that we did not know were doing business here. So it's an amazing event.
One more thing to add to that, Teresa, is new to this year, Dana and I are making a strategic effort to reach out to all of the businesses on the Treasure Coast, including St. Lucie, Martin, Indian River, and Okeechobee County, because there are limited spaces available for businesses to demo their wares and services at the Business Summit. So more importantly, with it being a business-to-business event, we are strategically targeting almost all of those businesses and their capacity to come and attend the summit. So if they're not able to showcase, we still want them there. We want you all to meet them. We want to make those business-to-business connections in the community available for everybody, not just the vendors that are there to display.
That's a great point, Lynette. Let's riff off that for a second. So if Port St. Lucie, if we want to be as prosperous as it can be, we want to reach our full potential, we want to be more than just one of the highest quality bedroom communities, it's really incumbent upon us to become a regional destination for the whole Treasure Coast. And as Lynette correctly pointed out, there's really no other space like the Civic Center in the region. So that's an example of how we can bring events and dollars and really provide the hub and the leadership for the greater region. So whether it's at the Civic Center for special events or around Treasure Coast Healthcare and a medical complex that serves a greater region, we have to think regionally in how we can be the center of the Treasure Coast.
And we're the same way. We actually, you're obviously the mayor of Port St. Lucie. I
haven't been, I don't get impeached, but that Frisbee was a high-risk maneuver. Yes.
And I, of course, represent the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce, but we're doing the same thing. We do our annual expo for tourism, and we've reached out to our partners all around the Treasure Coast, and we're going to do it together. We're going to do it at the Civic Center because it is important for people to know that we do need to establish our economic economics on a regional basis. And tourists especially don't know county lines. They don't know they left the Jensen Beach Mall in Martin County and came up to, the Holiday Inn in Port St. Lucie. They don't know. They're just traveling. So it's important for us to reaffirm their beliefs in traveling all around the region.
So Chick-fil-A, obviously, having a speaker, keynote speaker from Chick-fil-A is a quality move. We already heard that The Rock would be huge. But then maybe just a little promotion here, a little spitballing. Maybe next year or the year after, we get the head of Hilton or Marriott, because if we don't have a hotel yet at City Center, it would be great for them to walk into the opportunity and to be introduced to it. So just food for thought.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, actually, it is.
We accept.
Okay, very good.
Challenge accepted.
I would like to piggyback on one thing you said about the Civic Center. It's been a pleasure working with the Civic Center. I'm very impressed with the operation. Also, as far as the summit goes, in the past, there have been panel speakers. We're changing that a little bit this year. We're going to have small group breakout sessions. And also, we will be collecting books for Children's Services Council for their reading initiative. So please start collecting your books.
Do you know what the name of that reading initiative is, by any chance?
I couldn't hear over the plug.
Sean Boyle from Children's Services is here with us, of course, because we do event. Also at this event, the mayor does with me. We do the children's. I blew that too.
Children's Services Council?
No, it's the Advocate of the Month or the
Community Impact Award.
There you go.
Yes.
Community Impact
And the
Award.
program St. Lucie reads, and it's more than a program, it's a campaign and it's a movement. So thank you so much for supporting
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you guys. Tell everybody where they can get more information. What phone numbers should they call? What websites should they visit?
Okay, so we do have some information outside of City Council Chambers. You can visit tcbizsummit.com for all the information that you're looking for. There's also the opportunity to sign up as a vendor or consider sponsorship. And of course, Dana and I are available by phone and email, which is listed in all of our information and collateral available to you. So thank you so much for having us.
So Thursday, May 25th, 2017, 10 to 4.
Yes, and
Civic
then
Center.
immediately following, we'll have a cocktail hour sponsored by Southern Eagle Distributing.
The chamber will be there.
Again, know your audience.
Thank you so much, Mayor Orvick, for having us. We
Thank
very
you
much
for being
appreciate
here,
that.
and thank you
of
for
course,
doing what
to
you
the
do.
chamber.
Thank
break
you,
a leg.
Lynette. All right,
Yeah.
very good.
Congratulations.
And we will be right back with, we're going to visit with the mayor for a little bit. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. Of course, I have with me the one, the only Mayor Gregory Orvick. See, getting in my shot. I love to share my shot with him, and we do it every second Friday of the month, 8:30 a.m. right here at City Hall. Please come down and join us. It's free. It's open to the public. We have a huge crowd here today, a good-looking crowd here, actually.
It is a
I must
good-looking
say.
bunch. It is.
So very happy to have him. Every month at this event, we do our Community Impact Award. And of course, here to do that with me is the Executive Director of the Children's Services Council, none other than Mr. Sean Boyle. Welcome.
Thank you. And big props on getting the name right this time. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
and thanks for calling us out on that on TV.
No problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Something
We
was already
were friends, right?
Oh, man.
We were.
Yes, we did get the name right.
Yes,
We
yes.
didn't last month. Sometimes it always doesn't get
You
back to
didn't
me.
like 5 seconds ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was recorded, so.
Yeah, that'll air. You're right, that'll air. That's on me.
Yeah. So each month we give out an award to somebody that's working hard every single day to impact our community by working with our children. And, you know, if you ask anybody that works with the Children's Services Council or worked with our programs, will tell you that there's success happening every single day in our community. Children that are doing outstanding things, adults that are working with children doing outstanding things. So I guess it was about a month and a half ago, our good friend, Detective Danny, who's in the audience here today.
Yeah, I mentioned she's spending her day off
She
with us.
sent me a Facebook message, which she does often, and says, you have to attend this play. It's called Daddy,
Yes.
by a group called End It that's organized by Skip and Sonia Dupree. So I went to this play. It's called Daddy, and it was written, directed, and acted by the youth that they work with, and it was about human trafficking. And it was unlike any experience I've ever seen before. I mean, it was impactful, it was creative, it was just above beyond awesome. And we were so moved by it that we know the Duprees. They actually used to be in our office building area, and we called them in and said, what can we do to help? So we gave them some initial funding for some of the equipment costs and stuff like that, and we're going to look to expand that role. But we were so impacted by it, and the youth that they work with, it was so impressive that we thought we have to give them an award. So our award winners this month are Sonia, who just had her birthday yesterday,
Happy birthday.
and Skip Dupree.
Sonia and Skip, it doesn't say Skip on there.
It says Strather.
Yes, Strather.
I used to know him as Strather because he used to be our banker.
Yes.
But then I heard the cool name now is Skip, so I'm trying to go by that.
People don't want to hand their money over to Skippy.
I'll be either one. Just write the check.
Very good. Well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And they have, if I can let them give a plug, so the Daddy production was so successful. They're actually doing this now at the Sunrise Theater, I believe on May 5th.
May 5th, yes.
Do you want to maybe just briefly he's just going to hold the microphone for you.
Okay, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so on May 5th, we're actually doing the Daddy production again. Daddy is an original production, as he said, written by our performing arts team. We have teens grades 8 through 12. And what we do is we actually study each subject first. They have to learn about it. They take pre-tests, post-tests. That is how we got involved with Officer Danny. That's how we got involved with Officer. That's how we got involved with Officer Danny. She came in and helped make sure we had accurate information and just a realization that it's not just an international issue, but human trafficking is actually happening right here in St. Lucie County. So we're very excited to work with her. The teens learned the information, and then we got together. I like to equate it to just kind of paint flying all over the room. They're so creative as teenagers. They're so inventive. And so they actually helped to write the production. It's a walkthrough place, so it's not the same as typically where you would sit and watch a show and go through the different scenes, but you actually walk through the different scenes, giving you more of a sense of being right there. So it was amazing. They did 3 shows per night most of the time. The show runs about 50 minutes long, and we are just so excited to be able to do it again at the Sunrise Theater as a walkthrough. So I'll let you think about that in your mind, but we're ending on the main stage. So they're all excited to have the professional experience of doing it at the Sunrise, having the information, and the main goal is to get the information out to their peers so that they don't fall into the type of situation that our main character did. Adriana, she's 12 years old, and she's lured into the underground darkness of child sex trafficking through some not so scary looking monsters, actually through the internet. And so it's very real. It's one of many ways that kids end up involved. And it's very educational for the adults, parents as well. So if you could please support, if you're available May 5th, we have a show at 6 o'clock, 7:30, and 9 o'clock.
Very nice. I'm glad you got that all in. I do want to say, Detective Danny, I've been through the round table for a long time, and she has been getting everybody she possibly can through this show. And I remember she asked me to do it. I was away that weekend, and she said, well, who else? And I kept giving her name. She's like, nope, they've already seen it. They've already seen it. They've already seen it. So she did a fantastic job for you getting that word out. So good. Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
All right, we'll go to the Sunrise.
Sounds like a date.
I'm sure we'll make it a foursome.
Yes. We'll bring our wives and husbands. It will be a date.
Well, I only have one wife, just for the record. Do you have a wife?
I don't. I need one, but I don't. All right, very good.
Congratulations.
We digress. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you so much, and thank you, Sean, for bringing these wonderful people every month. We really
I'll
appreciate it.
just end. It's important that we have programs like End It because a lot of times when people think of after-school programs, they think of athletics, basketball, football, baseball, but we have a whole subset of kids that aren't sports-oriented, and this is a creative way to attract those kids. So big props to the Duprees and the End It program.
Because that's what they do every day is the End It program. Thank you both for being here. Welcome back back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. Of course, we're here with none other than the Mayor of Port St. Lucie, Gregory Oravec. We do this free event every month, second Friday, 8:30 a.m., free coffee in Danish, courtesy of silver platter entrees every single month without fail. The coffee is delicious. The crowd is lovely. The guests have been spectacular. And now we have great news on the city front, too.
I wanted to hear if you had any more adjectives or superlatives to go out there. We've been doing this a while. I think that was the most excellent string.
It was just string together adjectives.
Superb. I don't want to ruin it by talking about it too long. But Crosstown, we had a little public meeting this week. Mm-hmm. And by little, I mean it was 400 people at the community center. And if you've gone to public meetings before, you know 400 is a big crowd to have. And then normally if you have 400 people, you might find yourself in a high school gym somewhere with people yelling at you. Or if you're a Congress person, you might find it to be a town hall meeting gone awry. You know, we've seen some of that happen. But this was really 400 people who, for the most part, were very, very positive. When I say the most part, probably 80% plus. In fact, Mr. Schmidt, he was there, and there were other people. Pete was there. A number of people out in the audience were there. And everyone just wanted to finally see this project move forward. And it's an exciting time because construction has started on Crosstown. Our staff will say it's going to take 800 and something days, but I keep encouraging them to think 730 days, which is 2 years. And we're right there, and it's coming together. At the public hearing, everyone was positive about moving the project forward for the most part, and the couple nits were the Super Street intersection, which is how Crosstown is going to relate to Floresta. It is going to be a Michigan left, an oval about.
Is that a technical name, Michigan left?
Michigan left it's actually known in the industry. It's a modified, but Floresta will not be through Crosstown. You will have to get on Crosstown and basically do an oval about, and then continue on Floresta. And so it's different. It's the first one in Florida. It's in 4 states, but it's never been in Florida before. So we've talked about roundabouts before.
Many times.
Yes, this is even more than that. So understandably, that's caught people's attention. And people are worried about how they'll navigate it. So we're going to see on that. And then Floresta itself. You know, a lot of people want to see sidewalks on Floresta. They want to see the intersection improved at PSL Boulevard. But first things first, we get Crosstown done, and then we can do those things. Mm-hmm. And it's been 37 years in the making, folks. Crosstown went into our comprehensive plan in 1980. And we've talked about it in this room. You can't work at something. If we're going to be the city we want to be, you can't work at something for 37 years and fail. So the bridge is monumental in itself, literally and figuratively, but it's really important for our community and who we are. So it's exciting to see it move forward. We've survived 3 legal challenges. You know, we've prevailed on all counts. The federal appeals judges, a panel of judges hear that case and said that the route was carefully selected and everything was proper. So we're trucking. We're moving forward.
It's a go. And if you drive in that area, you will see all of the movement towards getting that done. And also I wanted to say a lot of people that I talked to that did go to that meeting on Crosstown were very concerned about the Michigan left, and all of them were converts by the time they left. So that's a good sign.
And I appreciate that, and you're such a strong supporter of the city. I won't say that all were converts that I've run into, and I personally brought it up a year ago just to say, hey, city, you really sure you want to do this? We've been waiting 37 years. Do we want to be the first at this too? Why don't we just get the bridge done? But the team decided that we were moving forward with that. And so at this point, it's more important to keep the project moving than to stop and redesign an intersection. We have to keep moving, understanding that we can always come back and fix it if it's not right, or we can always make it better. And that's the way our system works. If you wait for a perfect solution on the front side, we will never get things done. You know, you could wait forever to do it perfectly, or you could just start improving it today. And that's the mindset that we all need to take in our community. If we want things to change, if we want things to move, we have to be that change. We have to be that improvement. And Crosstown just needs to go. So while I might be sympathetic to certain arguments, we've got to support the team and just move this project forward because we need it. And it's not hard to see why we need it. That's all you have to do is go on PSL Boulevard at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the
Prima
afternoon.
Vista. I want to pick one.
Or Prima Vista / St. Lucie West. And
Yeah.
it really helps a number of things, including City Center. You know, being able to access City Center, the Civic Center, Village Green Drive, light industrial area of 20 minutes from 95. And then think long term also. Back in the day, the staff tried to get the Turnpike to connect to Crosstown. They took a pass then. But anyone who's gone through the main interchange at PSL Boulevard knows that we need additional connectivity to the Florida Turnpike also. And we should expect that we're going to be able to make that happen. So that corridor, which has no commercial on it, it's limited access, gets you from here to there. You're going to be able to get Turnpike, 95, US 1, City Center, and the Village Green light industrial area. So that really opens up a lot of possibilities. And just to plug them, we often overlook light industrial areas. You know, we don't like trucks, but that's money. So if you see a big truck, you know, if you see a big semi, think dollar signs when you see that, because that's moving the economy. And that's where all of our trades are in the light industrial area. So that's where prosperity is. That's where our jobs are, in those light industrial areas. And Village Green, if you didn't drive through it, if you didn't look very carefully at everyone's little sign, we have one of the world's best mixing manufacturers, Ross Mixing, in the Village Green Drive light industrial area. And I don't know if you knew that they were there, but they make industrial mixers. So when like gold medal flour needs a mixer to make sure its flour is evenly sifted, or those pills that you're taking to make sure you don't have a heart attack or to get your cholesterol lower, that's mixed in a lab by a mixer that's manufactured by our very own Ross Mixing. So you should know that and be proud of that.
Very good. Now, I know you had a strategic planning, but I didn't know if you wanted to open it up to questions.
Yeah, don't have time. We got to cut
We got to cut to the, okay. So we're going to open it up for questions. You can literally ask the mayor anything about the city of Port St. Lucie, because he's...
Obviously, we're very friendly and familiar here.
Yes. Yes.
Got to remember we're on TV, though.
So no cursing.
No cursing.
I don't even think we have a bleeper. We probably need one. Oh, we have a question.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. We're bringing over the mic.
We're bringing the mic.
Thank you for standing up, though. There you go. And he'll hold the mic.
First question, when it comes...
Well, you only get one. It's a one question until everyone gets a question.
On overgrown lots where, you know, there's encroachments on houses on either side, who could tell me, you know, what the procedures are on something like that, and what the city's responsibilities are versus, you know, somebody who owns it?
Sure. Overgrown lots. It's a big deal. Thank you. That's Mr. Schmidt, by the way, and we appreciate his participation. He was at the Crosstown meeting this week also, and does a nice newsletter for the beautiful community of South Bend. On the overgrown lots, it's a big issue. Why? Because once upon a time, circa 1961, GDC platted 80,000 quarter-acre lots and sold them to people all over the world for $10 down, $10 a month. You too can live in beautiful Florida. And we have a lot of lots that still haven't been constructed. We have owners all over the world, and they're not here to mow back palmettos, pine trees, and especially, gosh, we hate those Brazilian peppers. Right, they're invasive exotics. It's okay.
Invasive species.
It's okay to be against Brazilian peppers. They grow so fast, and then you have poor homeowners right next door who all of a sudden have the impact of this lot messing with their lives. It's not fair. And so a lot of times this is a civil matter, but the city does have an ordinance, the overgrown lot ordinance. And on our webpage, cityofpsl.com, there's a section on how to move forward with an overgrown lot case. You could also call the Code Compliance Department. Their number's available on our website.
Access PSL, the app.
The app, thank you. Where's Brian? He's not here to plug the app for us. We have an app for that. And then lastly, a nice fail-safe is the line to the City Council office is 871-5159. And we have two incredible assistants, Brandon and Christina. And either of them can provide you with concierge service.
Very good.
And make sure you get to where you need to go. But thank you for that. I will say that Right now, we have more demand for that service than we have funds to help with it. And so I'd like to see our new city manager, Russ Gitterdun-Blackburn, to find a way as part of this budget process to allocate more funds. Now, ultimately, we get those funds back if the property owner doesn't do the right thing through liens and assessments. But we have to front the money. So hopefully we're going to get more money to that program. But thank you for your question.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else have a question? Because we'll go back to Mr. Schmidt. Mark ran all the way around thinking you meant what you said. That nobody else was going to get to ask a question.
I'll know better next time.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of a statement and a plug for the government of our city.
This is starting off well.
We had Jolene at our last public meeting, and I think
District 4 Councilwoman Carvalho.
Jolene, yeah.
Yeah, and we were very impressed. A lot of energy, and to see new blood on the council. Okay, is really tremendous. And the other thing that I was reading the other day is that I guess it's your statement that now the council is running very smoothly and so forth, and with the new councilors and all that, and that's very good to hear, because I think city government is probably the closest thing you get to people, and it's not very exciting and things like that, but you are doing the stuff that people need and people appreciate, and so to see a new approach to politics in the city is very refreshing, and probably, your leadership in that is probably appreciated.
I can add to that. Yeah, it has been.
Hey, we should just hold on. We should make sure Mr. Schmidt's here at every meeting.
Yeah, I know. I was nervous at first, but then I was like, I think this is going to be okay. But I can say that part of my job is to have relationships and speak to each of the council people about the issues of the chamber. And I have noticed that they seem to be on the same page in so many respects, and it is very refreshing because I think it's a positive page as well. So that has been very refreshing and very nice to see.
Just to give you a little background, I was involved. My wife and I were involved in city government and politics up north for over a decade. Okay, and so we've seen acrimony. I've seen how destructive it is. And you don't accomplish anything by doing that. And last few years, seeing what I've seen, that was not very nice. And to see a change like that, I think it needs to be mentioned and acknowledged. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for your statement.
It's nice to hear. It's really nice to feel. Also, can tell you that very heartened and proud of what this team is doing so quickly after being formed in November, and it's our elected officials which have really, again, night and day.
We have another question.
Hi, Mayor. This is my first meeting here, and I wanted to know, thank you, when are we getting that Lucky's Market or any other organic grocery stores?
So
such as a Trader Joe's?
Lucky's Market, if you don't know, it's in that same space as Trader Joe's. They do organic and specialty grocer, and you'll really like this. You're allowed to drink while you shop.
And everybody knows I don't drink.
No.
Don't start rumors.
But you can actually walk the store, I believe, with a glass of wine. So it's really an experience. Yeah, I can see some of the members saying, wow, what do we have in our chamber event for that? So they are going into the plaza right behind Starbucks in St. Lucie West. And I don't have the exact opening date on me. I don't know that it's been identified, but they have submitted a site plan to the city. And just to set expectations, let's think that it'll probably happen this year sometime, but probably towards the end of the year.
I am not a big drinker, as you know, but I think the model is a genius one, because how many groceries do you buy when you're drunk? Like everything looks good.
If you don't drink, how would you know that?
Well, I'm just assuming.
Oh,
no, actually, I went to college. I know how it works. I eat a lot of White Castle in my day.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's really smart. We're excited about that. We get a lot of new retail going on, which is a good sign for economic development. As you know, I don't consider retail economic development, but
Thank you for saying that.
It is a result of economic development. So it is the Aldi's is opening up soon. Finally, my parents have been waiting for the Aldi for a very long time, and I think they have a soft opening date.
I don't have that date on me. If you were setting me up, I'm going to whiff on that one.
My parents will know for sure.
I'll tell you this.
23rd.
The 23rd?
Yes. They've been counting the days.
I was searching for Aldi's last night to see what time it closed because I wanted a gallon of milk, and you can get a gallon of milk at Aldi's for under $3. Also, check out the circular because 2 weeks ago they had green beans for 85 cents a pound, which that's a great
fresh produce.
Yes.
Yeah,
so you can't beat that. At other places, even on sale, that's $1.29. So 85 cents is. We're watching every penny and nickel for it.
And Aldi's, and not that they need the plug, but it's a lot of European lines, a lot of European labels. So they're not non-brand names; they're just European for the most part. So
or private, where they go to the same manufacturer, but they put the private grocer's label on it. So it's essentially the same product without the charge for the brand. Aldi's, thank you for the question about Lucky's. There are a lot of people excited about that. A lot of people are excited about the Chick-fil-A, and that's why that was such a brilliant tie-in there for Treasure Coast Business Summit. And they have a big following, so a lot of people want to hear what that executive has to say. But people, surprisingly, when you get into the Chick-fil-A discussion, you talk about Zaxby's, then people are like, well, I don't want to go to Chick-fil-A's or Zaxby's. I want to go to Popeyes. And all of them are coming to the city of Port St. Lucie. So all of those site plans have been approved. Chick-fil-A's has not. The site plan hasn't been approved yet for Chick-fil-A, but they've identified a spot in St. Lucie West, also on St. Lucie West Boulevard. And it is not economic development, but it does have economic impact, and it is retail development. And just following what you citizens in Port St. Lucky's are interested in, really retail development and brands. What brands are coming here? That's really, here, the numbers don't lie. That's one of your top concerns. That's one of the things you're most interested in. And I'm going to do the strategic plan at another one, but the new council, that new team just came together and did a strategic plan, and we had to prioritize because you can't do everything at once. And something that made the list was encourage continued retail development and identified the demographics needed by those brands, because forever, well, at least 15 years, people have come in. I got 10. You got 10? And what do they want?
Cheesecake Factory. Yeah.
So
see, we didn't plan that. We just know that everybody wants a Cheesecake Factory.
And
it's a question
true.
I get a lot.
And what I will tell you, just doing this for a long time, you need 100,000 people making $100,000 a year within 30 minutes of the location. And we don't have that yet. But it's one thing for me to say, and it's another for someone who's identified as a real estate retail expert. So one of the things we might do this year as a city is actually get with you and say, hey, what are the brands that you want? And we'll just do it systematically. Okay, these are the 15 brands you really, really, really want.
This is what they require.
This is what they require. This is where we're at. This is the delta. And we might find that with some, we're in that gray zone where a little love and little schmooze and, oh, you're so
maybe
beautiful, you're wonderful.
Oh, our mics are too close together.
Let's see what happens. So you may, there's a tipping point, but otherwise it's cold hard facts. It's all about the numbers, folks.
It is all about the numbers. And you know what, I agree with that. As representing small business and large businesses.
It's like matter and antimatter. If we go into the same space, we explode.
But I have to say that I am very conscientious of working with small businesses, and I do think you need to know your market. So these big brand names that have market benchmarks, I agree with that, because the worst thing in the world is to see a business fail. So you want to see that your demographics are there and the disposable income is there and your brand or your business will be supported. So I always encourage people to check into that. And you can find those numbers on MyFlorida and eflorida.com. They have numbers about our median income, our median age, all that kind of thing. And so that's accessible to everybody.
There's some softwares out there that you could actually pick a spot and it'll identify the radii, the rings around the spot. And that's what the retailers go with.
Yep.
Are there any other questions out there?
Well, we did fairly good then today. We're only about 8 minutes over. We're going to give away a couple things.
Yeah, I would just like to give away. I want to recognize a couple of people today with some Mets tickets, maybe for tomorrow's game.
Okay.
And what I'll say is that there's many things that make Port St. Lucie special, but at our foundation, we're safe, clean, and green. And you want to trade out green for beautiful, have at it. But we are the safest large city. It's nice, for the most part, to drive the streets here. We have landscape medians. We have parks. We have natural areas. We still have what makes Florida, Florida. And we really offer it at a price point that can't be beat. We really provide Florida lifestyle at best value. If we're going to become the city we want to be, we can never move away from that. We always have to be safe, clean, and green. And we have to understand that it's a never-ending fight. You know, if you throttle back a little bit, you get too big for your britches, as Great-Grandpa Orbeck used to say. Then all of a sudden, you're no longer the safest large city. You're no longer clean. And that doesn't happen magically. That happens because a lot of people are working hard. And your government can't do everything. You have to be a part of it. And so I just want to recognize our ambassador, Mr. Smith. And he brought a gentleman today who just signed up. He just signed up in the war against litter. I can't say he's been conscripted because he volunteered. But what was your name again, sir?
Nick Gill.
Nick. So Nick, through our people serious about litter and Chamber Ambassador Gary Smith, do you know what your route is going to be yet? Do you know where you're going to be fighting the war on litter?
St. Lucie West. We're expanding our attack up there, and we were out this morning on the Darwin Boulevard.
So they're already fighting the fight out on Darwin, trying to get every scrap of litter up. And people, we hate cigarette butts, all right? Port St. Lucie is not your ashtray. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So when you throw your cigarette butt out at an intersection, where do you think it goes? It ends up in the river, folks. It ends up in a water body. After we're done looking at an ashtray for a road, that ends up in a water body. And just imagine what would happen if you put 50 cigarette butts into your fish tank or your goldfish bowl. Nothing good. So that's what we're doing on an industrial scale to the river. So remember that. And remember that people are spending the time, rather than going to the beach, playing tennis, having fun, they're picking up litter. And we need everyone, if we can't get everyone to do the right thing on the front side, we need your help in keeping Port St. Lucie
beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Safe, clean, and green. And so it's the least that we can do to get you a parking pass and 2 tickets to Saturday's ball game.
Very good.
Will Tebow be there?
I am not sure.
Carissa has his phone number if you want to get in touch with Tebow.
I do not. I'm not sure if he will be or not. I haven't heard yet. We did get to see him the other day play, and I didn't think it was too bad. I think the paper really over-embellished how...
No comment.
All right, fine.
Go Mets!
I enjoyed watching him.
Yes, I do too, and I think he's a fine man.
Yes. There's so much more there than just baseball player or football player.
He did get beamed, though, right in the back of the left delt.
But that's a base.
Yeah, you take it any way you can get it.
Whatever works for you. Yep. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you to Silver Platter Entrees and Jane Reynolds.
And who's our main sponsor?
Of course, it's HCA, Treasure Coast Healthcare System.
Thank you very much.
To them every month.
And thank you, Port St. Lucie.
And thanks to everybody, and hopefully you're watching at home. But join us next month, 8:30 a.m., second Friday of the month. We'll see you then.